Artificial intelligence is everywhere. Inside search engines, inside smartphones, inside recommendation systems, inside businesses, inside software, inside social media, inside customer support, inside the tools millions of people use every day. And yet, most people still think of AI as a product, an application, a chatbot, a feature, something they consciously choose to use. But history suggests something different may be happening, because the most important technologies eventually stop feeling like technologies. Electricity became infrastructure, the internet became infrastructure, cloud computing became infrastructure. People stopped noticing them, not because they became less important, because they became essential. And today, artificial intelligence appears to be following the same path. Most discussions focus on what AI can do: write content, generate images, create videos, answer questions, automate tasks. But those capabilities may only represent the surface, because beneath every AI application, another transformation is underway, a transformation that could redefine how businesses operate, how creators create, how software functions, and how the internet itself evolves. The biggest AI story may not be the tools people see. It may be the infrastructure they don't. Today, we explore why artificial intelligence is becoming infrastructure. When most people think about artificial intelligence, they imagine interaction, a prompt, a response, a conversation, a generated image, a completed task. But that perspective may already be outdated, because AI is beginning to move beyond direct interaction. It is becoming embedded, integrated, distributed, invisible. Years ago, software was something people opened. Today, software often operates in the background. The same transition is beginning to happen with AI. Instead of being a destination, it is becoming a layer supporting other systems, a layer improving workflows, a layer enhancing decisions, a layer operating continuously beneath the surface. The result is subtle. Most users do not notice, but that is exactly how infrastructure evolves. The more important it becomes, the less visible it appears. Electricity does not demand attention. Cloud servers do not demand attention. Internet protocols do not demand attention. They simply work. And increasingly, AI is moving in the same direction, away from novelty toward necessity. The story of artificial intelligence did not begin with chatbots. It began decades earlier, long before most people had ever heard the term machine learning. For years, AI remained largely experimental, interesting, promising, but limited. Computing power was expensive, data was scarce, infrastructure was insufficient. The idea was often ahead of reality. Then, three things changed. Computing became cheaper, data became abundant, infrastructure became global. And once those conditions existed, AI accelerated, not gradually, exponentially. Every year produced better models, larger data sets, more capable systems. And eventually, artificial intelligence became commercially viable. But something else happened during that process. AI stopped being a research project and started becoming a utility businesses could integrate, developers could build upon, and entire industries could depend on. The shift was subtle, but significant, because once technology becomes a utility, it begins moving towards infrastructure.
Most people encounter AI through interfaces: a chatbot, an image generator, a productivity tool, a recommendation engine. But those interfaces are only the visible layer. The real story exists underneath. Every AI interaction depends on infrastructure, massive computing systems, global cloud networks, data pipelines, model architectures, inference engines, optimization layers. The visible product represents only a small fraction of the system, and that hidden system is growing rapidly. Businesses are integrating AI into operations. Software companies are embedding AI into products. Platforms are deploying AI throughout ecosystems. Not because AI is trendy, because AI is becoming useful. And useful technologies tend to spread, quietly, relentlessly, until they become impossible to remove. The internet experienced this transition. Cloud computing experienced this transition. Mobile technology experienced this transition. And artificial intelligence may be entering the same phase, the phase where infrastructure becomes more important than applications.
Technology becomes truly powerful when people stop thinking about it. Most people do not think about electricity when they turn on a light. Most people do not think about cloud infrastructure when they open an application. And increasingly, most people will not think about artificial intelligence because AI is moving beyond conscious use. It is becoming part of the environment. Consider how people work today. Emails are filtered automatically. Recommendations are generated automatically. Content is organized automatically. Translations happen automatically. Search results are optimized automatically. Millions of decisions are already being influenced by artificial intelligence. Not dramatically, not visibly, but continuously. And that changes behavior. People adapt to systems. Businesses adapt to systems. Entire industries adapt to systems. The more capable the infrastructure becomes, the more expectations change. Speed becomes normal. Automation becomes expected. Efficiency becomes standard. And eventually, people forget how difficult things used to be. That is the hidden effect of infrastructure. It changes what society considers possible. Then it changes what society considers normal. And finally, it changes what society expects. Artificial intelligence is beginning to enter that cycle, not as a product, but as a capability embedded throughout the digital world.
A few years ago, waiting hours for information felt normal. Today, waiting seconds feels slow. A few years ago, creating content required significant effort. Today, creation can begin instantly. A few years ago, automation felt advanced. Today, automation feels expected. This is how infrastructure changes society, not through dramatic announcements, through shifting expectations. Every improvement becomes a new baseline. Every convenience becomes a requirement. And every capability becomes invisible once it becomes common. Artificial intelligence is accelerating that process, not because people are demanding it, because systems are integrating it. The future may not be a world where humans use AI. It may be a world where humans live inside AI-enhanced environments without constantly noticing they exist.
Every major technological era creates a new infrastructure layer. Railroads powered industrial expansion. Electricity powered modern cities. The internet powered information. Cloud computing powered software. And now, artificial intelligence is beginning to power decision-making itself. This is where the story becomes interesting. Most people view AI through applications, but businesses increasingly view AI through infrastructure. A creator may use AI to accelerate production. A startup may use AI to automate operations. A software company may embed AI into every feature. A platform may optimize billions of interactions using AI systems operating beneath the surface. The visible application is only the endpoint. The infrastructure is where the leverage exists. Because infrastructure scales, a single decision engine can influence millions of outcomes. A single model can support thousands of products. A single intelligence layer can enhance entire ecosystems. And that changes economics. Companies no longer need to build everything themselves. Developers no longer need to solve every problem manually. Creators no longer need to start from zero. Instead, they build on infrastructure that already exists. Just as modern creators increasingly rely on asset ecosystems, template ecosystems, production ecosystems, businesses are beginning to rely on intelligence ecosystems, and this may become one of the defining characteristics of the next decade.
The first internet economy was built on information. The second was built on platforms. The third may be built on intelligence. Not human intelligence alone, machine intelligence distributed throughout infrastructure. The implications are enormous because every industry depends on decisions: what to recommend, what to prioritize, what to optimize, what to automate. Artificial intelligence increasingly participates in those decisions, and as participation expands, the infrastructure supporting those decisions becomes more valuable. Not because AI replaces humans, because it amplifies systems, the same way electricity amplified factories, the same way the internet amplified communication. Artificial intelligence may amplify decision-making itself, and that shift could reshape the digital economy from the inside out. Imagine the internet 10 years from now, not as a collection of websites, not as a collection of applications, but as a network of intelligent systems, systems capable of understanding context, predicting needs, coordinating workflows, optimizing outcomes, and operating continuously. The transition may already be underway. Search engines are becoming intelligence engines. Software is becoming adaptive. Platforms are becoming predictive. Workflows are becoming autonomous. And the distinction between software and intelligence is beginning to blur. This does not mean artificial intelligence will replace the internet. It means artificial intelligence may become part of the internet's infrastructure, a new layer beneath the surface, quietly supporting everything above it. Just as cloud computing transformed software, AI may transform digital systems. And like every infrastructure revolution before it, many people may not notice until it has already happened. For most of history, intelligence was limited by humans. Every decision required human attention. Every analysis required human effort. Every insight required human expertise. Artificial intelligence changes that equation, not by creating infinite intelligence, but by making intelligence more accessible, more scalable, more distributed. Just as the internet democratized information, AI may democratize capability. And when capability becomes abundant, new opportunities emerge, new industries emerge, new expectations emerge. The challenge then becomes adaptation, because history shows that abundance rarely eliminates competition. It changes where competition occurs. When information became abundant, attention became valuable. When software became accessible, distribution became valuable. When intelligence becomes scalable, understanding systems may become the ultimate advantage. The most important technological shifts are rarely about technology. They are about consequences. Not first-order consequences, second-order consequences. The effects created by the effects. When electricity arrived, it did not simply power lights. It changed manufacturing, urbanization, productivity, economic growth. Entire ways of life emerged from a technology originally designed to solve a much smaller problem. The internet followed a similar path. It did not simply improve communication. It transformed commerce, media, education, politics, culture. And artificial intelligence may be following the same pattern. Most people focus on what AI creates: images, videos, articles,
code. But the larger question is what AI changes. What happens when intelligence becomes cheaper? What happens when expertise becomes more accessible? What happens when decisions become increasingly supported by systems? The answers extend far beyond software, because intelligence influences everything. Every business decision, every marketing campaign, every product launch, every recommendation, every workflow, every strategy. And when intelligence becomes infrastructure, its influence spreads everywhere. Consider what happens when artificial intelligence becomes ordinary. Not impressive, not experimental, ordinary. People stop talking about it. Businesses stop advertising it. Consumers stop noticing it. The technology fades into the background, but its impact continues expanding. Because once infrastructure becomes invisible, it becomes difficult to imagine life without it. Most people do not think about internet protocols, yet modern society depends on them. Most people do not think about cloud computing, yet millions of businesses rely on it. One day, artificial intelligence may occupy the same position. Not a product, not a trend, not a novelty, an assumption, a foundation, a capability embedded throughout society. And when that happens, the conversation changes. The winners are no longer those who simply use AI. The winners are those who understand the systems AI creates. Because every infrastructure layer generates new opportunities, new industries, new business models, new forms of leverage. And history suggests the largest opportunities often emerge one layer above the infrastructure itself.
There is a common assumption that artificial intelligence will eliminate competition. History suggests the opposite. Technology rarely removes competition. It changes where competition occurs. When websites became easy to build, competition shifted to attention. When information became abundant, competition shifted to trust. When content became scalable, competition shifted to distribution. And when intelligence becomes accessible, competition may shift to systems. Who can build better systems? Who can deploy better workflows? Who can combine intelligence with infrastructure more effectively? Because technology rarely creates permanent advantages. It creates temporary advantages. And those advantages eventually become expectations, then standards, then infrastructure. The cycle repeats again and again across every technological era. The question is not whether artificial intelligence will become widespread. The question is what becomes valuable after it does. For most of history, human progress was limited by physical constraints: distance, energy, resources, time. Then, technology began removing those constraints. Railroads reduced distance. Electricity expanded productivity. The internet expanded information. And now, artificial intelligence may be expanding capability itself. Not because machines are replacing humanity, because systems are amplifying humanity. The most important AI revolution may not happen through a chatbot, or an application, or a viral product. It may happen quietly, beneath the surface, inside infrastructure, inside workflows, inside businesses, inside the systems people rely on every day. Just as electricity became part of civilization, just as the internet became part of civilization, artificial intelligence may become part of civilization's operating system, invisible, essential, and everywhere. Most people see AI as a tool, but history suggests something larger is happening. The most powerful technologies eventually disappear into the background, not because they matter less, because they matter so much that society begins to depend on them. The future of artificial intelligence may not be what people see. It may be what they stop seeing. A hidden layer of intelligence powering a visible world. And as that future is already beginning, then the most important question is no longer what AI can do. The question is, what kind of world emerges when intelligence itself becomes infrastructure? Most people use the internet. Few people understand it. The deeper you go, the more invisible it becomes. The internet is changing humanity. We explore what happens next. This is NexNet, inside the modern internet.